Hey gang, it's a beautiful morning. I know that I know that a lot of you might be saying, "Oh Ren, you've been a little dark lately." Um, it's not that I have been a little dark lately. Okay, so there is coming a time. The reason for these messages and the way that the Father has me speak in these messages, there's purpose for it. And I'm purposely speaking to the ones that are claiming his name, because the Father is trying how can you be upset? What beautiful sounds like that. The Father is trying to open a lot of your eyes, those that have fallen into the incantations of the enemy, believing that you are serving the one true Creator, when indeed you're in fact falling for the trap of a different master. So the Father has me speak these messages purposely for that specific group. But here's a message today that hopefully at some point most will understand. Okay? Here comes a time. There is a time coming upon us where all of the things, it doesn't matter what status you consider yourself to be in, it doesn't matter what bracket you consider yourself to be in, if you're not one of them, if you're not one of those that are making all the major pieces move for the purpose of the evil one, if you're not one of them, the main characters of those elites, quote unquote, then this message is for you. Even if you are highly deceived, it doesn't matter what bracket you land on, it doesn't matter if you fall under the thousandaire or billionaire or millionaire, or if you're a police officer, or if you're a firefighter, or if you're a first responder of any kind, or a medic, or if you're living check to check, week to week, if you're a Democrat or a Republican, whatever label you have been indoctrinated to, familiarized with, and identify yourself with, it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. We are all participants of this system of this fallen world, okay? It doesn't matter where on that scale you land. There's only two sides of the situation. there's a side of the knowing and the unknowing. Okay. So I'm speaking to the side of the unknowing. Even if you think you know, you don't know. Because those that are plainly committing the greater evil, okay, even those know. But just a little hairline level underneath them, those folks still don't really know. So there's only the knowing and the unknowing, okay? And there's a larger side of the unknowing, and there is a side of the knowing. So I speak to the unknowing today. All. There's a time coming. There will be a time coming, a fork on the road that will affect everyone in every real way. There's a fork on the road approaching that will affect everyone in every real way, and it won't matter what kind of position you think you are to favor you. The things to come will affect us all. Okay? Now, the reason why I speak, the Father has me speak the way that He has me speak. And I already know that you've heard the enemy speak through hosts. Oh, he's bitter inside. Oh, must be going through this, or must be going through that. Oh, he feels left out. Oh, he's jealous. Oh, insert potential distraction there. Okay. I don't make these videos because I have nothing else to do. As a matter of fact, I make these videos in the time that I have spare. And the Father kicks my ass. I'm sorry, forgive me. The Father reprimands me at times where I stall too much, too long to speak what He wants me to speak. Because, oh Father, I'll get to it. Oh Father, I'll get to it when I'm done with this thing or that thing. And it's not that my life is incredibly busy. It's not that. I have, to the naked eye, I have a very common, simplistic lifestyle to the natural eye. Okay. I don't over consume myself with tasks that overwhelm my living situation. Okay. I don't take up on myself anything that the Father doesn't have me take myself upon. So I'm not, I can, does it bring me joy to know that there's someone listening? Sure, of course. Of course it brings me joy, because that's the passion that the Father put in my heart. I want to know that, I want to know. Do I need to know? No. Because I don't come here because people react in a grandiose way or in a lesser way. I come here because the Father tells me to come here. So, to all of those lies that you have heard the enemy speak in your ear, no, I don't come here because I'm bitter inside. I am upset on a much deeper level than the superficial that most might think. And it's not because I am upset with one specific group. My heart burns. My heart burns the way that Christ's heart burns. Imagine the amount of motivation, of pain, to move a being, a life form. Forget that Christ is the Redeemer. Forget that Christ is the Savior. Let's just focus on a word that you can understand, human, on the human form, on the human side of that very flesh and bone Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. Let's just focus on his very mankind nature of what drove him with such compassion to do the act that he did under the claim of what he did the act for. Okay. That is the grand scale of what I have and hold inside when coming out here. Whether I'm foggy in my head because I'm not looking to be cool in front of anybody. And my ADD acts at time because I'm a very, very much a human being. And I forget the name, I confuse the name of the king with the name of the prophet. And if you're watching, you're watching. And if you're here, you're here. I'm a very, very much a man. I'm a spirit. I am the spirit in the image of my Creator, trapped in this man body and everything that it represents. There is a time coming. There's a time coming when it won't matter what indoctrination, programming, what ideology you have took upon yourself, what label you have took upon yourself, what egotistic lies you have believed from the evil one whispering in your ear. There's a time coming, a fork on the road, when the only thing that will matter is the Christ in you. I don't know how else to say this. I don't know. And I know that the Father has the means to give me the power, the means. He has the power to give me the means and the words when the time comes. It might already been words, I'm sure of it. Words that I have already said for a time coming. I know these videos and these messages, these vlogs are not very popular right now. But there is a time coming, a fork on the road, where all of your labels, programmings, and indoctrinations, all the lies that you have allowed to be told to you and you believed that you are doing something righteous, that what you're doing matters because it's something that, and I'm not saying that what you currently are doing does not matter. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the core value, the intent on the inner level of your being will need to be to a certain level of turn to the fundamentals of Christ in order for you to make it past that fork on the road and break through that barrier where you only have those options. The lie will be so intense that you'll have that fork on the road. Okay, you're gonna have that fork on the road, and even that fork on the road itself will be a misguidance, because you're gonna have, oh wow, yeah, this is what's wrong and this is what's right. We have to commit to what's right. And even that other side of what's right, depicted as what's right, will be tainted. And you'll fall for a lie one way or another, because the time is coming where you need to be centered in true Christ, in the true anointed one, in the spirit of the true Redeemer, in the spirit of the true Mediator, in the spirit of the one that connects our Adam back to the Father, in the new birthed Adam. If you're not truly centered in that true rebirth of the Adam, which is the Christ Spirit, those forks in the road will still be a lie. Because those will continue to be physical options in a spiritual situation. Those will be terrestrial options. Those will be terrestrial options in a divine grand scale situation. It's still an option. There's still an option. But you won't see what the true option is. Lay down all. Ask the Father. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for anyone else. Do it for us all, because we are all one. If you hurt, I hurt. Christ hurts because we hurt. That's the heart of the Messiah. That's why he did what he did. Because he was hurting from our hurt. You understand? Drop everything you know. I'm just saying, consider the fact that you just might not have all the truth you think you have to carry you through and those that you love. Once that fork on the road presents itself. Be humble. Be humble in your heart. Let go of this egotistic, self-centered, I am better than spirit that is drowning you and keeping you blind. And I know that's not an easy thing, and that doesn't happen overnight, but the realization of the reality, that the realization of that truth is the beginning. Bring that initial realization that you have been governed by an egotistic spirit, a spirit that keeps you blind to the Spirit of the Father. Bring that to the feet of the Creator. And ask Him, if you truly care, if you're truly willing to drop, if you're truly willing to listen when He speaks to you and gives you the instructions necessary and tells you and reveals to you the truth around you, if you're truly willing to commit, only if you're truly willing to commit and drop the indoctrinations and start to correct the physical surroundings that you are in. Because everything physical is a manifestation. Everything outwardly is a manifestation of what's inside, of what's inward. So before you kneel down, any way, which way you come to the Father in your sacred place, this is you and Him. This is not a group prayer. This is you and Him. You and Him. Before this is a group prayer, before this is a group conversation with the Creator, this is a one-on-one. This is a one-on-one with your Creator. Ask Him, Father, what is this crazy guy talking about? Ask Him. If you truly want the truth, if you truly want truth, kneel down. And your heart does the kneeling. Just like we don't need to circumcise the member, our hearts take the circumcision. Your heart does the kneeling. Go in whatever physical, however physically you need to find yourself in that sacred place where it's just you and Him. Go to a closet, go to a dark room, go to the woods in your car. However, okay? Find yourself one-on-one with no interruptions. Shut down all the idiot boxes. Shut down all the frequencies. And connect directly with your Creator and Redeemer. If you care, if you have it in you to truly lay down the ego and the things and the wants of this world. And ask Him. Ask Him to show you what you need to correct inwardly. Ask Him what is worth correcting. Ask Him what matters. When you truly mean that and you speak to Him, you will start to know who Christ is. You will start to understand how important the voice of the Spirit. You will start to hear and understand how to hear the voice of the Spirit of your Creator. Now, there might have been a time to some that may have and did know the voice of His Spirit at a point in time. And you felt dormant. You felt dormant because you got involved in too much. It's too much noise. But you don't understand. This is all, we're doing good things. We're doing this and we're doing that, and You fell dormant to noise that does not no longer allow you. Our daily bread. We go and we act, but we must come back at his feet. We must come back to his word. Oh, but I read my Bible. I read this physical book every day. No. You're not truly reading if you're not listening. If you're not listening. If you can't listen to the voice of the Spirit, you're not reading the Word. Sound like a broken record. The kingdom of heaven is within you. I'm going to sit here and listen to these birds. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. The world's on fire. It starts with you. Individually. One-on-one, individually, all together. It starts with you in here. How do flame catch? They continue to grow. They have fuel. Flames, you can spark up a little flame in the right environment where it has the fuel to continue to burn, and it destroys everything in its path. That's the same analogy you can compare. The fire of the Spirit of the Father. Stop feeding the wrong fire. Turn the noise off. And just go. And love people. Not so that you can grow your brand. Not so that you can add another label to yourself. But so that the right fire can catch. Just go and love people. Turn the noise. Oh, but Randy, what happened? Oh, but what they did too. Oh, but this is what they're doing. Turn the noise off. And create the environment inwardly that will start manifesting. You will be that fuel for that internal fire. But both cannot exist. They don't go together. You have to let go of the one to pick up on the other. Turn that noise off. It doesn't mean that you're oblivious. No, we know. But it does not It does not help anything if you yourself are fuel to the wrong fire. Fear and love. And I'm talking about true love. I'm not talking about gooey feelings. That's all part of it. I'm talking about true love. True love is light and darkness. Love and fear is light and darkness. Okay? You decide. That is your choice. That is divinely given to you. You decide which flame to feed. There are portrayers out there that are blind themselves. I know. I am not attacking anybody individually for the sake of attacking. I am attacking something. 100%. Don't get it twisted. I'm 100% a warrior of the right fire. Of the correct fire, I should say. But I'm not attacking flesh and bone. I'm attacking the entity. I am attacking the evil that houses that flesh and bone. As long as we look at each other as enemies, we are feeding the wrong fire. We are created all in His image, but we have a choice. You want to grow, be grandiose in this world? Oh, but I'm doing so many positive things. Whose glory is it? You're doing things to be seen by man? Or do you want the Father to smile when He sees your heart? When He sees first what others may take a while to realize. When He sees your heart, and when your heart is correct in front of the eyes of the Father, what's inward will manifest outward. But pretending that you are correct inwardly by behaving a certain way outwardly is wrong in front of the eyes of the Father. And like I've said, you can fool many, but the very few you won't fool, the very few that have been given the sight, eyes to see, and without a shadow of a doubt, you will never fool the omnipotent that's in every molecule and every cell and in every single pocket of space, in any dimension, in any reality, any realm. The omnipotent. You're not fooling Him. It's hypocritical if you say, oh, this person and that person's wrong. But you know, in the secret between you and the Father, you know the times where you yourself use that same card. Oh, I'm saved by grace, it's okay. And you compromise one little thing over another little thing on top of another little thing internally. And what's internally, what's inside eventually comes outside for all to see. You can lie for a little while. You can lie for a while. But eventually, Whatever you sowed, whatever you planted on that ground, come forth to light. And if you're in a position where you have a lot of eyes watching you, and you keep hoping that I'm crazy, I will continue to pray for you. And that the Father somehow, I know it will be His will, and I don't know which character, I truly don't know which character and which story in that book you may fall under. But I do know that the Father says it in those texts, hardened Pharaoh's heart. And we have a lot of little mini pharaohs, because Pharaoh's not just one. Because just like we're in the era where Christ died to ascend and release His Spirit to all who will accept, the same way that the spirit of Pharaoh lives to all who would accept. We have a lot of little mini pharaohs. And I don't know. And it takes a specific type to get to that pharaoh status in the spiritual. And the Father said that He hardened Pharaoh's heart, meaning that if you read that story, Father had already made His mind about Pharaoh. And it might look like the Father's people are weak, and it might look like they were running away with their tails between their legs to the eyes of the minions of Pharaoh. But there came Pharaoh after them with rage, and we know what happened, because the Father had made up His mind about Pharaoh and those that went with him. I'm not saying we're all pharaohs, mostly blind sheep. But if you are a pharaoh, if you even consider yourself to be on that pharaoh walkway, I wholeheartedly desire in my heart nothing but the Father's grace, and that your heart would be softened, and that you will come to the truth and lay down all the idols that you have made, and lay down all the labels that you have taken upon yourself to be seen in front of men, as you are being utilized as a tool, a minion of the evil one, while claiming my Creator's name. I only pray with true compassion in my heart, because I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bless you guys.